So in this video, we'll see the efficiency when we include the tax. Now, we saw 2 videos ago, I think, that the tax, the optimal tax level would be equal to 50 euros, meaning that the marginal cost would increase by the level of 50 euros. Let's see how that works out on a graph. So we have this graph over here. That used to be the marginal cost without the tax, but now because we must add the 50 euros, the new marginal cost, so the new marginal cost after the tax would be 30 plus the quantity plus 50, and that would be equal to 180 plus, sorry, that would be equal to 80 plus the quantity, 80 plus the quantity, meaning that the intercept of the new marginal cost curve is going to be 80 and the slope of 1. So this green line is going to be shifted up by 50 units. So from 30 we go to 80, somewhere over here, and the slope is still positive 1. It has to be parallel to the green line, so something like that. Now this is the marginal cost after the tax. What would be the optimal quantity, the social optimal quantity after the tax? We calculated that also 2 videos ago, and we saw that level would be equal to 100 units, meaning that we're intersecting the marginal cost after the tax with the price axis at the level of 100 units. So over here we are creating 100 units of production. Now, what is efficiency? What are the gains and the losses from that? Well, let's see. First of all, we have still a producer surplus. We still have an area underneath the price axis and the marginal cost axis. So this triangle over here is going to give us a gain to the society. That's the producer surplus. Let's calculate it over here. The producer surplus is 1/2 times. This would be the height, 180 minus 80. That's 100. So times 100. And this would be the length. The length is the quantity that we are producing. So that's 100. So times another 100. 100 times 100, that's 10k, divided by 2, that's 5,000. So the producer surplus would be worth 5,000 euros. That's a positive. What else do we have positive here? Well, we have the tax revenue. Because we're charging a tax, the revenue goes to the government. So government is part of the society, and that's considered a gain, meaning that the tax revenue, the tax of 50 euros per unit, so the difference between 30 and 80, that is the tax that we are charging, that is the tax that increases the marginal cost, and we are producing 100 units, so for every 100 units we're going to generate a tax revenue, this one over here. That is our tax revenue. Now, what's that? That's the area of this square of a rectangle. That's 50 times the other side, which is 100. 50 times 100 is equal to 5,000. That's still a gain. That's still a positive. What is the cost? Well, the cost is going to be equal to the external cost. And the external cost should be lower because we are producing less. And we know that the external cost is the area underneath the marginal external cost curve. So this one over here. Now the question is, what is this point? What is this point? At what price level does the marginal external cost intercept when the quantity is 100? Well, we just have to substitute 100 into the marginal external cost to see what is the level of the marginal external cost at that quantity. So that would be 1/2 times the quantity of 100. That's equal to 50. Again, doesn't look good on the graph. It's not very accurate because the slopes are not really 1 and 1/2. But again, for the sake of the point, I hope it makes sense, because now we can also calculate the external costs. The external cost would be the area of this triangle, which is 1/2 times this length, which is 100, and the height of 50. So times 50. 50 times 100, that's 5k, divided by 2, that's 2,500 euros worth of external cost. That is the negative. Now, with all this data in mind, we can calculate the efficiency overall. Let me just change color for that. Yeah, that's going to be good. So the efficiency is going to be equal to a positive of 5,000, so 5,000, plus another positive of 5,000 euros from the tax, and a negative of 2,500 from the external cost, so minus 2,500. That's 10,000 minus 2,500. That's equal to 7,500 euros worth of efficiency. So that's 7,500 euros worth of efficiency. That's with the tax. Now, without the tax, we saw in the previous video that it was equal to 5,625. So let's see what is the difference. 7,500, and on the other side we used to have 5,625. That's without the tax, so no tax. Now let's take the difference to see how much is that. 7,500 minus this, so we have 10 minus 5, that's 5. This one is 9 minus 2 is 7, and we're left here with what's 15 minus 6, that would be, oh no, we took one from here as well, so 14 minus 6 is 8, and we're left with 7 minus 5 is 1. So 875 euros. That's the difference in efficiency, meaning that the tax increased the efficiency by 1,875 euros. Hope this all makes sense, and we are done.